So we got a ton of comments on our last reel where we just kind of did the top line process of a visualizer that we did for Matthew Ifield. It's a live performance for his latest song, Ready for Love, and we did a background replacement. After all these comments, we thought, okay, we'll do a tutorial going a little bit more in depth on how we actually did this. So let's kick into it. Here I've dragged in my raw file. Obviously we've got the background, the lights and everything like that. We knew we were going to use Gen Fill to create this really widescreen, kind of colors inspired look and feel. Before you do the Gen Fill, you want to grade this, because if you're doing the Gen Fill and then grading after, the file that you get back from Photoshop isn't going to have all the same information as the raw file. So to kind of alleviate any drama down the line, we're going to go in and grade our clip first. I won't go fully into this because this ain't a grading tutorial, but jumping into the color tab here, and I actually used the John Rosalo power grade. We've been developing our own power grades over time, but I also just like to, buy other people's things, support other creators and kind of see how their approach to color. So this is a little interesting seeing John's power grade here, but this is kind of what it looks like. Obviously I've gone in and made my own adjustments to get this just how I like. Again, not going to go into that today, but that's our graded clip here. So now what we want to do is take a still of that. So we're just going to right clip, grab still. Now, next step is to export that still. So you just right click on that still you made over here, do export, and we're going to turn this into a PNG. I'm just going to call this background and I'm going to save it on my desktop for ease. Now I'm going to find that file on my desktop and take it to Photoshop. Okay, we are now loaded up in Photoshop. Now this is pretty simple here. Just get the poly tool or whatever that is. And I'm just gonna click and I'm just gonna work my way around the image here. Cut in here. Coming around that light. Bang. Simple as this. We're just going to right click, go to Generative Fill, no prompt, and just hit enter. I find it works really good just without doing any sort of prompt. It's kind of smart enough to figure it out. Look, bang, there you go. Sometimes it doesn't work so well. Now it's going to give you 3 options here that you can cycle through to see what's the best. I kind of like this second one here, so I'm going to go with that. So now we've got our full width background, which is great. So I found that when you leave the talent in there and you go to put this background in, often you get a bit of crossover and it just kind of makes life difficult. So the microphone never moves, that can stay, but seeing as our talent kind of moves around, I'm going to get rid of them as well. So I just kind of click around the talent here. Again, I'm just going to go no prompt, the Gen Fill, which you'll see sometimes it'll add in something random like a chair or a bookcase or a lamp. Other times it'll figure out that I just want nothing there. But yeah, look, now they've put in another talent. This person here and a chair. You know what? For the speed of this, I'm gonna live with the chair, merge this down, and I'm just going to do the process and eventually we'll get to nothing in there. I don't know, sometimes I put in remove or, clear background, or I've put in other prompts and it's just picked up those words and added in random things. So for this, I just like to go with no prompt and hopefully it's smart enough to figure it out, which yay, it has done so this time. Again, we've got a couple of different versions. This one looks pretty good to me now. So now we've got the background. I mean, it's not the best. I would go through and do like some smudge, or again, just keep gen filling to get rid of these hard edges. But for the speed of this tutorial, I can live with this for now. So we're just gonna export that as a PNG. I'm just gonna put it back on my desktop for now. Call it green background. We're back in DaVinci. Here's our raw clip. I'm just gonna move that up one layer And I'm going to add in our background here underneath it. And I'm just going to extend that all the way to the end of the clip like this. Bang. So we can't see it at the minute, but it is underneath there. Now we need to jump back into the color tab. I'm going to add a node at the very start of everything. So we just click on our first one here, add node, add serial before. And to this one, we're going to add a power window. So we click on this icon down here. Again, I'm going to get this little pen tool and I'm just going to draw around him like so. I'm trying to kind of capture all the areas where the talent is going to move, because this is everything that's staying. So at the minute, we can't see anything, no changes yet. The reason being is we need to add an alpha node. So I've already added one here, but that's just right click, add alpha output. And then we're connecting the alpha output of node 1 to here. And bang, there we are. So now I just like to add a bit of softness inside and outside of this. That's just gonna feather off, and that's looking pretty good. If we go back to our timeline, here is now the clip all put together. Now just to bring everything together, I added these nodes as a compound clip. So if you don't know how to do that, you just select them all, right click, and new compound. And that just combines those two together, so it's not getting messy when we're getting into the larger edit, because we were cutting back and forth between two different angles on this. So I've got my compound here at the bottom. I've actually compounded another clip on top, but that's his close-ups. And then we just added some 35mm film layers on top. These are those. And an adjustment, because I'd sent this off and then we got some feedback. They wanted some slight changes to the green. And so instead of going in and having to redo the grade and redo the Photoshop and all that kind of jazz, I've just done an adjustment clip on top and have made some final tweaks to the color on that. But essentially that's it. Pretty simple. There's a little bit of finessing involved. I think what I ended up doing with the background, I'll just decompose this again. If we go into the grade here, I think I've done some like selections on the background and added a little bit of blur. So again, any of those hard lines from the Gen Fill get smoothed out. So that's essentially, you grab the PNG and you can add an effect to that, Gaussian blur, chuck that on. As you can see, it's way too hard over here. And you just kind of bring that down till you can still see the definition of those things, but it's just gonna add a little bit of blur to the background and smooth everything out. So I hope that was helpful. Quick and easy tutorial for you. If you give it a try, let us know how you go.